You go down, I'm going to stomp you. I'm not, there's no mouth to mouth here.
Holy
I'm going to stomp you.
My breath is horrible.
Anyways,
today.
I want Pittsburgh because you know what? The NHL wants Pittsburgh. Yep. Everyone across America wants Pittsburgh. If Boston plays Pittsburgh, you're going to see a great series. But you know what? The guy in that series who has to step up is Lucic.
Right.
Because you know what it is? You're going to need an enforcer and a guy. And I'm a little upset about Lucic right now. Because, I love the guy, but right now he's playing tough around the boards. Yeah. But he has to get in front of that net and get some cheap goals. That's why Neely was so good. He was in front and he had a quick wrist shot. I mean, I'm not trying to say Lucic is Neely.
It's an overdrawn comparison. It happens all the time. People, because they're big guys and they actually do score goals.
But he has
Neely was a 50-goal scorer. Lucic is a 20-goal sgorer with the physicality. Now, Lucic in the Sabres series played awesome in Game 6. He was a huge catalyst to win that series. Yeah. He had a big game-winning goal in Game 3?
Yes.
He had that game-winning goal. That's a big goal for him. However,
spin around.
He needs to be more productive. I agree with you. Part of the problem with Lucic is that we have been dancing lines around, and it's tough for him to get consistency.
He has to step up now, Darren, because if you think about it, right, with Krejci out, he's going to step up. There's guys who have to. You need another goal out of Weidman. I mean, you need these guys to start scoring some goals tonight.
Well, I like Phil's point about you play Pittsburgh, you need defense. So where I'm going with that is, what are you hearing about Seidenberg? I mean, he was our trade. That's who we made the trade for. He was pretty much the only guy.
We traded an equal defenseman, in my opinion, for him. Yeah. Now, the word around town, I mean, with Stewart, it was that he had this infection and he was weeks away, and then he was close, then he was weeks away. Now he's actually real close because that type of thing can change real fast. With Seidenberg, they said 4.5 weeks. He's been out 4.5 weeks. Now he's got the okay to skate and practice. They said another 4 weeks for him to be ready to go. But he said that he can shave some time off of that because he feels good. The prognosis is changing. He was supposed to see a doctor today. That I haven't heard the results from yet. That's going to be huge because you know what? He's not coming back against the Flyers. Hopefully we don't need him. He may not be back for Game 1 and 2 against Pittsburgh, but hopefully we get him back in that Pittsburgh series.
Well, I mean, what does Pittsburgh Penguins have the best medical staff in the history of sports? Stahl comes back from a torn tendon in about 3 games, and we have this guy out.
See, that's what's so funny is this Seidenberg injury is a lacerated tendon. Somebody skated over his tendon. That must have to heal itself. He did have surgery to get it closer together, but then it's really got to grip itself. That must have been like the Schilling injury. It was his ankle where you separate a tendon in your foot, you reattach it, you're good to go in a week. Now, to your point, Aaron, that was amazing to me. He came back in the same series.
He came back in about 3 weeks.
You also got to realize Seidenberg's 28 years old, right? Now, this is a kid who is one of the future defensive Bruins on this team for probably the next 4 or 5 years.
He was pretty good when
he was
He's very good defensive.
Solid. He's very solid. He had a great slap shot. I love the way Char's been playing. Char's been playing like a man possessed out there. He's on the ice. He's cleaning people out. I mean, he needs to shoot some more, though, Phil. I mean, I want to see that slap shot drilling in. He has the highest shot in the NHL.
Well, I think since the Buffalo series where they weren't able to beat Ryan Miller early, that first game they were frustrated. They outshot him 38-22. They couldn't score. Then they waited for traffic. So now Chara's waiting for the right time. He's got the type of shot. He doesn't need a screen every time.
No.
It's so hard it could go through the twine.
Yeah.
But in Game 4 for the first time in this whole playoffs, I think Chara was a little tired. This 3-day rest tonight, expect the Bruins to come out like they did in that first overtime of Game 1.
And also, Boucher, he gets up a ton of rebounds out in front of the net.
Tons of rebounds.
I mean, you got to get like 30 shots tonight on this guy. If you can get 30 shots at him, same thing. And they're going to tap a quick little rebound right back in. And tell you right now, they score first tonight, this game is over.
I'll tell you who I expect to get a couple goals tonight, who actually is quiet in the last game but has been awesome throughout the playoffs. Satan. He is going to be home. He's going to sniff those rebounds. He's the type of guy that gets those rebounds or the puck bounces to him. Quick release, really good wrist shot. I expect Satan to score a couple goals tonight.
And like I said, I always listen to Randy from Randy Cap, and he has great predictions. And his theme tonight with closing time, loved it. He's right. The Bruins are going to close it. And you know what? I'm going to look ahead. It's going to be Pittsburgh. It's going to be Bruins. And you know who I want to see get his due diligence because I love how he's playing. He's 1A, as we call him. He's not Crosby, but Bergeron. That's another reason. I'm not looking at Matt Cook. I'm not looking at, I'm looking at Patrice Bergeron going up to Crosby and be like, here's your little Here's your little Canada. Thanks for my goal. I shouldn't have been a number 5 center on the team. I'm almost better than you. Boom. Just get him.
You know, you mentioned Randy. I mean, he must do karaoke out in Vegas.
Oh,
He's
he's
unbelievable what he's
unbelievable.
saying. I mean, the voice in the kid, I mean,
He's
getting better.
He
He's
is.
getting better.
He should. He should be out there with Wayne
I want to see
Newton.
a little Sinatra next week, though, when he comes back on.
Oh, he will.
You know?
Hey, Flyers, last call for hockey. Last call. We're closing the lights out tonight. Have a good golf season.
Well, you know what we want to say once again, the Phil Smith Bruins Doings. I'm Jay Conley, my partner Darren Svensson here. When we come back, we're going to have the Shocker on.
Shocker.
For the Celtics. See you soon.
Welcome back to Sports Far Around. I'm Darren Svensson, co-host Jay Conley. If you saw yesterday's game, you must know there's only one man we're bringing on the show right now, and that's the Shocker, Kevin Hunt.
Welcome, Hunty.
Great to be here. Great to be here.
Yeah, it is great to be here. That game was unbelievable yesterday.
Give us your input in the game yesterday on Rondo, on Garnett, on the guys on the team. Tell us.
I kind of felt like how I'd imagine a proud father would feel when when his son, brings his prom date ready and she's kind of hot, but you don't want to. You feel a little weird about it. I felt like a proud father because I feel like the Celtics are almost overachieving a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like they weren't supposed to have a chance versus Cleveland, and now it's 2-2. They've pretty much outplayed them. If it wasn't for home court looming above their heads, I would say it's a lock.
Well, let's not jump. Yesterday's game was incredible, but the reason we were a little yesterday's game was like walking on eggshells, right?
Of course,
because
it was.
After what we just witnessed Friday night, I mean, how do you come home, stealing a game in Cleveland? How do you come out and play like that, Hunt? Yeah. How? I don't understand how you can play that bad at home Friday night. Everyone get up.
It happens, though.
Overconfidence.
Yeah.
That plagued them throughout the regular season when I think they could just put it on cruise control for the playoffs.
And they can't. You're right.
And basketball's a funny sport.
Right. But if you told me after that game Friday, and then Paul Pierce playing arguably one of his worst games of the season, never mind playoffs, and they'd still win that game because of Rondo's scoring, rebounding, and obviously his assist, I would think you're nuts.
Have you seen a better playoff performance from a Celtic guy that Rondo?
You know what?
I can't remember.
You're right.
And I
have a terrible memory.
I heard a great one today.
Larry Bird's the closest I've ever saw.
Right. Larry Bird's
Larry
the
Bird's
closest I've ever seen. And then I heard it on the radio today, like, well, it's not the best thing ever. Bill Russell once had 35 points and 40 rebounds. I'm like, well, that's never going to happen again. Okay? This was everything.
This is a guy 6 feet tall. People forget. You know what it was nice to see, though, was Doc Rivers finally saying, admitting, you know what? I give him the green light. He's running the show now. This is what he's supposed to do. When a kid wants to play, you know what he's doing, I love Darren and Hunty, is that he's going to the hole. I even though his free throw percentage is down, he's still going to the hole, making things happen. Now, you know what people are forgetting right now? You got to give Danny Ainge his credit. Here's a guy who went out, he drafted Rondo, and everyone was like, I am you called me. You're like, who is this guy Rondo?
He slipped to like 17 or something?
No, 22.
22.
Like, who is this guy Rondo? And I'm like, they said he was fast. All I knew he was fast.
We knew who he was. It's just that, what they do in these drafts, I think they overdo everything in any draft.
Yeah.
The reason he slipped that far is because, well, Marcus Williams was supposed to be better. Yeah. Well, Tubby Smith, he was uncoachable. All right, well, listen, when you get to the pros, some people are uncoachable.
They're all untouchable. They're all uncoachable. All because of the money.
You know what? They took a shot. Danny Ainge has been incredible. He's been having draft picks from about the 14 to 23 range for a while, and he's landed on pretty much all, even second-round picks.
And even traded for Big Baby.
And he's even throwing towels up trying to, make sure, which is great. Your GM doing it. I love it.